Hi everybody, my name is Danielle Nicole. If you enjoy beauty, fragrance, or makeup, then you are definitely in the right place. Now I'm super excited for today's video, you guys, because I'm going to be reviewing a new release from Navitus, and this is a fragrance with creative direction from none other than AI the Great, and this is called Ambrosia Imperiale. So if you're excited to hear all my thoughts about this new fragrance and enjoy the video while you're watching, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And let's get started right now. Now, first things first, I did purchase this fragrance with my own money, so no, it was not sent to me. And no, I do not have any sort of relationship with AI the Great, other than I am definitely a fan of her channel. So let's get into the packaging first. So I am just laughing right now, because when I first received this box in the mail, I could not believe the size of this thing. So it definitely does have a luxury feel to it. And this isn't even the entire component. This is just the coffin, or the box, I guess you could call it, that the fragrance comes in. Now this does have a magnetized closure. And when you open it up, of course the fragrance would be in there. I don't want it to drop. And then it does come with a card with all of the notes. Now just like the entire presentation in the box, the actual bottle is quite large, if I do say so myself. I believe you get 4.2 ounces of product, so much more than your typical 3 or 3 fluid ounce bottle of fragrance. And here is what the bottle looks like. It has a beautiful gold cap. Now, part of the reason I was so excited to test this fragrance out is because the master perfumer, and again, I apologize if I mispronounce her name, but it is Bertrand Duchefort, who also created Chocolate Queen from Gabby Loves Perfumes. And in case you don't know, Chocolate Queen is one of my most favorite fragrances of all time. That definitely says a lot, because I'm actually not the biggest fan of chocolate fragrances, but that one definitely has me in a chokehold. So again, that's why I was super excited knowing this was going to be the same master perfumer. Now, just in case you are unfamiliar with this fragrance, let's quickly go over the main accords and notes. So there are actually quite a few that are listed, so I'm just going to hit on some of the main ones. So this is described as sweet, fruity, warm spicy, ambery, green, and tropical. The top notes are banana, rum, Brazilian orange, Ceylon cinnamon, and Davana. The heart notes are dates, orchid, jasmine, and amberwood. And the base notes are caramel, vanilla, whipped cream, benzoin, musk, and saffron. Now overall, I am usually a pretty big fan of fruity, tropical, sweet, feminine, floral fragrances. So when I heard that AI was coming out with a banana gourmand fragrance, I was so excited. But I will say, AI and I do not exactly have the exact same scent profile. I mean, I don't know any two people that love exactly the same fragrances all the time. So I was definitely optimistic, but a little bit nervous, especially because green was listed as a main accord. Now, I am not the biggest fan of green fragrances, so that was one of the areas that I was a little bit worried about. So I do find this fragrance has a slight green undertone, but it really is buried quite a bit in the background. It's just a hint of a green undertone, and I'm actually really happy they decided to go that direction, just instead of it being a straight super sugary tropical vanilla bomb. Just gives it a little bit of uniqueness and just a touch of freshness. Now, don't get me wrong, this fragrance is sweet, but it's definitely not oversweet, at least to my nose. Now, I could go on and on about all the notes in this fragrance, but basically what I get is a semi-sweet tropical banana and saffron bomb. It is everything I can imagine and more. Now, I only have one other fragrance in my collection that does have a note of banana listed, but this just completely takes it to another level. This is absolutely stunning. Now, no, I am not trying to overhype this fragrance. I just get really excited and love to share my thoughts, especially when this was a blind buy, you guys. I had no idea what to expect, but this is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, it's just a little bit sweet. You definitely do get the banana. Now, I've noticed a lot of people have mentioned that banana note completely dies out for them. I would have to disagree. Now, it does subside a bit, but I definitely do get banana from the initial spray all the way through the dry down. It's almost like smelling a sweet banana candy, but there is definitely a tropical undertone to this fragrance. So it's not just like smelling straight pieces of candy. It definitely does have that tropical vibe, but then with that added saffron, it just gives it a little hint of green, a little hint of spice in the background. Oh, it's just intoxicating. I just want to keep smelling it. Now, if you were expecting Ambrosia Imperiale just to be a straight banana gourmand, very heavy and very thick, then you may be disappointed, because I do think this fragrance is a little bit more complex than that. In fact, when I initially smelled this fragrance, what it reminded me of was Kayali Yum. Now, not because those two fragrances smell anything alike, they couldn't be more different, but in the same way that a lot of us were expecting a very heavy, thick pistachio scent, and Kayali Yum was definitely far from that, I definitely do get a similar airy vibe with Ambrosia Imperiale. Now, Ambrosia Imperiale is categorized as a unisex fragrance, and as I always say, wear whatever scents your heart desires. There are definitely no rules. But because this fragrance is quite sweet, I would say it does lean a bit more feminine. So if you like the sound of a sweet tropical banana gourmand, but you also enjoy the note of saffron, I really just don't think you can go wrong with this fragrance. Just make sure you do enjoy that note of saffron, because my nose does pick that up quite strong all the way through the entire wear. So I can totally see myself wearing this fragrance every spring and summer, possibly even the fall as well. I probably wouldn't reach for it in the winter quite as much. Of course, there are no rules. You can wear your fragrances whenever you want, but it definitely gives a sunny tropical vibe. So that's why this is much more of a warm weather fragrance to me. Now, this is described as being sexy, seductive, and captivating, and I 100% agree on all three of those descriptors. Now, this is not your typical beachy, salty, coconut, tropical fragrance by any means. So I do think this is one of the most unique fragrances, not only that I have in my collection, but that I've ever smelled. So look, all I can say is I am definitely a fan of Bertrand Duchefort. I am so excited that he also decided to create Ambrosia Imperiale. He's definitely a master perfumer that I'm going to be excited to try more of his creations in the future. Now, as far as the longevity and projection goes, at least on my skin, I don't find that Ambrosia Imperiale is a very loud fragrance. Now, it's definitely not a skin scent by any means, but I do find myself having to top off halfway throughout the day. You may have a completely different experience than me, but I don't find this is a super long lasting or a super loud projecting fragrance. Now, it wouldn't be a proper Ambrosia Imperiale video if I didn't at least share a few of my favorite layering combos with you. Now, let me just say, this fragrance does not need to be layered. So if you are worried that this fragrance is going to have to be layered with other fragrances, it definitely does not. This definitely stands on its own. Now, what's so great about layering with Ambrosia Imperiale is, first of all, because it does have a fruity tropical vibe, you can pretty much layer this scent with just about any sweet, fruity, floral, or any tropical fragrance that you have in your collection. So just to share a few of my favorite combinations, the first one is with Miu Miu Fleur de Lis. Now, this fragrance is basically a sweet, creamy mango coconut. When combined with AI, chef's kiss. Now, another combination I have absolutely been loving is AI with Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato. Now, I know this is a very polarizing fragrance. It seems most people either love it or they absolutely hate it. But if you love it and you have this fragrance in your collection, this basically gives me a sweet, cotton candy, very creamy whipped cream scent. Well, they both have whipped cream, so when you combine them, it is beautiful, and I do find it really amplifies the sweetness. Now, I've also really been enjoying AI with a fragrance that I really do think is being slept on. So this I did pick up at Sephora. This is from the brand Abbott, and this is called Papaya Isla. I did purchase this at Sephora, and I do have a separate review. If you are curious, check it out after this one. But this is basically a sweet, juicy, a bit tart, fresh papaya scent. Again, a gorgeous fragrance on its own, but when you combine them, just gives me major tropical vibes. Now, I could pretty much bring out my entire summer collection, and there's a good chance that AI would pair great with all those scents. But because this fragrance also has saffron, I do find it doesn't just pair well with sweet tropical fruity fragrances, but it also pairs with some of my deeper scents. You guys know, I just had to test it out with one of my other holy grail fragrances. This is also from Navitus none other than Chocolate Queen. What else can I say? You basically get a chocolate covered banana in the best way possible. But because both of these fragrances have amberwood and you also have that saffron, you would think that this would be a very sugary, just cloying mess, but it is not. These two pair beautifully. When I was younger, my grandpa used to, I can't remember what they're called, but they're basically chocolate covered frozen bananas. Combining these, that's basically what I get. So even though Ambrosia Imperiale is a fragrance that on its own, I would probably only reach for in the warmer months, in the winter, I'll definitely be pairing these two together. And the last layering combination I'm going to share with you today, and let me know if you guys want to see a part 2 down below. I can definitely do that. I've been pairing this fragrance with so many other ones in my collection, but that is pairing Ambrosia Imperiale with Libre Le Parfum. This is a very spicy white floral with, again, added saffron. Now let me tell you, I was not sure how these two were going to play together because I do find they give off two completely different vibes, but when they are combined together, this is uber sexy. So let me know in the comments down below, have you picked up Ambrosia Imperiale? If you did, have you tested it out? Let us know all of your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, you guys, well, I really hope you enjoyed today's review of Ambrosia Imperiale. Again, Aisha, I am so proud and happy for you. Definitely going to need to get myself another bottle when I run out. It is just a gorgeous fragrance. So happy to have it in my collection. Now, if you guys did enjoy the video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye, guys.